Morning, everyone. It is 9 a.m. on the morning of the 28th of March 2022, and this is my pre-market strategy session. So the first thing that I have up here is the SPY, and this is a 3-month chart on the SPY. Yeah, here we are. We've had a pretty big dip down here. Here's the previous quarter. We're coming into the end of the quarter. There are 3 days and 7 hours left, means roughly, 4 days left in the quarter. And we've got a red candle, so it's red on the month. But more than half of the body of the candle, or more than, so if we take the whole size of this candle right here, let's make it kind of big here, and I'm going to get rid of the volume down here real quick. Okay, and so what we have here, we've got this candle from here to here. That's the size of it, and more than half of the size of the candle, or I'm sorry, not half, but more than the size of the body of the candle, we have this giant supporting wick down here. I don't know if you can see that or not down here. This wick down here, the wick thickness. Let's see if I can change that line. If I can change the setting so that the wick is a little bit larger. And I don't see anywhere where I can change the size of the wick. There's the wick right there. Appearance. All right. Well, anyway, and so that is where buyers came in. In the first quarter of 2022. Yeah, we're coming to the end of the first quarter of 2022. The market definitely, dived down, and buyers stepped in at this price down here, 408.40. Oh, wait a second. Let's get that right. 410.64, and really haven't looked back since. If we look at this on the, we'll look at it on the weekly. Right here, here's the bottom right here, and it came kind of close, to testing that bottom, but it's definitely caught, some wind, and has risen. So now these next 4 days, I don't know. It could be really interesting, because what could happen, let's see here. It would be extremely bearish for the S&P to close below 438.98 for the quarter. Is that going to happen? Well, I doubt it. I mean, that's a pretty steep fall in 4 days. Anything could happen. So just on Friday, we'll know. We'll know what's going on Friday. If this candle right here, this quarterly candle, ends up closing, somewhere in like this area, like in the top, above 460, then it's forget about it. We might have a couple months of consolidation, sideways consolidation, but the market's gonna, consolidate for, 6 months, and then it's headed higher. If the market closes by Friday morning, if the market is down below 430, actually, I'd say if the market is down below 440, then there's more red to come. So it'll be an interesting close. There will be an interesting close to the month of March for this quarter. We'll see. I don't know. The Fed is still operating in the market. The Federal Reserve still has those programs. So although they've discontinued quantitative easing, they have all these other programs that they can still run. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think they'll prop it up if they have any say in it. Now, here's the same thing with the Qs. Now, Qs, it's a little bit different. So the Qs this week close, if we come in on Friday and this candle is closed below 359.34, which, it's only slightly above it. Wait, if it closes, well, look at that. Actually, it is right below. So here is the opening of the previous quarter. So Q4 of 2021 opened at 358.60. 358.60. And if it closes at, below 358.60, that's a bearish sign. That means that, there'll be an engulfing candle. That means that the first quarter will have opened up higher than the body of the previous quarter and will have closed lower than the body of the previous quarter. That's a bearish engulfing candle. Interesting. 358.60 is the number that I'm watching, for the end of this week. And there'll be a lot of information that can be gleaned from the close of this quarter. IWM, the IWM is bearish. Small caps are such crap. There's some diamonds in the rough in small caps, but generally speaking, small caps is only a place to invest when the economy is just raging or starting to rage. When there's money's moving fast, it's cheap. In fact, the past pandemic relief with the Fed easing and government providing stimulus, the small caps were flying, just flying, of course. Otherwise, small caps are crap, always. All right. Tesla, boy, oh boy, has Tesla just decided to take off. Tesla here, it opened above its previous close by a lot. Previous on a quarterly basis, went all the way down to below its previous quarter's low, and then now, as of this morning, right now, Tesla will open above higher than its previous quarter's close. So Tesla is absolutely on fire. I think Cathie Wood, if her funds start to play out, watch out. Tesla's had like 10,000 a share. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be just totally nuts. It has a lot of work to do before it gets there. But Elon Musk just opened up another factory in Germany. Tesla is in top position, even with Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Porsche, Ford, Chevy, Honda, Toyota. Every other car manufacturer is doing everything it can to catch up to Tesla. Tesla is absolutely dominant in the electric vehicle industry, and it's growing. And the cars have an outstanding reputation. Teslas, people who drive Teslas absolutely love them. And I see more and more of them on the road. Tesla right now is just on a rocket ride. This kind of a bounce, you just don't see that often in a stock. That doesn't mean, it's going to keep going that way. I mean, there are bound to be competitors who are going to take market share away from Tesla. But right now, Tesla's cars. I mean, have you seen the Tesla Plaid? The thing goes so fast that there's a guy who took it out onto a drag racing strip, and he has to actually slow it down when he steps on the pedal, on the acceleration pedal. He actually has to let it off and hit the brakes so that his times are slow enough so he can compete on the track without having to do all of the crazy roll bar. There are all these crazy modifications you have to make to your vehicle in order to drag race on a professional drag strip, to satisfy and be compliant with insurance requirements to be able to go that fast. Because insurance companies, And so basically, the Tesla Plaid stock out of the factory will get kicked off of drag strips for not having the roll bars and all the necessary gear, whatever it is, to be able to go as fast as it does on a drag strip. That is incredible. And right now, there's no one else bringing an electric vehicle to the market, a series of electric vehicles to the market that can compete with Tesla. So, until it does, I imagine one day there will be a time when Tesla's stock starts to finally sort of fall. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is a parabolic on a quarterly basis. That is absolutely parabolic. If I saw this on a daily chart, I would call this a momentum trade that will come to an end and will end in a devastating manner. I mean, look at that. It is incredible. But right now, the guy, it's a large cap that's acting like a momentum stock. So for the time being, don't step in front of this bull. Amazing. Okay, so now what we have going on with Amazon. Amazon's doing what could be a little bit of a rollover here at the top. We'll have to see these topping tail candles up here on a quarterly basis. There being two of them. That means sellers are in control up here. Buyers have definitely stepped in on Amazon right here. Stay tuned. As soon as Amazon starts breaking down below, if Amazon ever starts breaking down below, I'd say this level at 2,758. In closing on a quarterly basis, look at that. It dipped right in there and buyers just came right in. If it ever dips down there and closes down there on a quarterly basis, then it's going to start to explore the southern side of price action. But for right now, Amazon, again, Jeff Bezos is the modern day Warren Buffett. This guy, Jeff Bezos, he's got a stock. It's not paying a dividend, and he just keeps piling his earnings, his retained earnings, into more assets, more revenue generating assets, and he's just sucking up any asset he can. And Amazon is delivering. So quite literally, Amazon is delivering. So I'd be surprised. I could see this thing lagging down a little bit. But in the long run, Amazon to 100,000, 200,000 a share, sort of like what Berkshire Hathaway has done. I haven't even looked at Berkshire Hathaway in a while. I wouldn't be surprised to look back in, say, 20 years and say, wow, I wish I had bought some Amazon at $3,000 a share. I hold Amazon in my portfolio. So, full disclosure, I have shares of Amazon. Okay, oil. What is going on with oil? It looks to me like it's trying to climb up to the top of this breakdown candle here to test these highs, 102.40. It might take a little while, but for the time being, as long as we have this radical leftist Biden administration, Green New Deal supporting administration, then oil is set to get more and more expensive. It's government-sponsored sort of pressure to push people out of fossil fuels and into renewables, although the push is going toward electric, but they're not renewable. These are not renewables. What's renewable is solar, wind, wave energy from the ocean and stuff. Those are renewable sources of energy. What's happening right now is the industry is just getting pushed toward electric, which I suppose is the first phase in getting away from oil, even though a vast majority of the electricity that charges the vehicles is derived from fossil fuels still. So a lot of people, people have their heads in the clouds about electric vehicles and so forth, or or even have their heads in the sand because they know better. But as of right now, a vast majority of the electric vehicles that are on the road right now are being recharged and manufactured and recharged with fossil fuels. So this administration, I think, is acting in a completely and totally irresponsible manner. There are better ways to incentivize the move toward electric vehicles and renewable energy than making ordinary people go broke at the gas pump and inciting global conflict over the policies. So there's a lot more going on than what meets the eye in respect to this global conflict that's getting stirred up. Enough about that. All right, the VIX here, Hedgeye has a low end on the VIX that is now below 20. It's in the high teens. In the high teens, still pretty close to 20. I mean, it's not definitive, but coming out of the 20s is a positive move for the VIX. Now, let me move this red thing out of the way. That is a big topping tail. Big topping tails on the VIX. That's kind of common, you can see here for the VIX. Well, you know, the higher lows here does not bode well for the time being, though. In the short term, it's hard to be bearish. I mean, with the recovery that everything's made, I think more bearishness is coming up. But right now, it's just time to trade in whatever direction the setup gives you. If there is a bearish setup that presents itself to you, then to me, then I'm taking it. If there's a bullish setup that presents itself to me, I'm taking it. I'm just trading the chart that's in front of me. The bullish and bearish bias, you know, it's good because in a bullish environment, it's best to trade in the direction of the trend. In a bearish environment, it's best to trade in the direction of a trend. Right now, we're seeing one hell of a bull market, a bounce, a bull rally, one hell of a bull rally in a bear market. It is bearish, but that is one mean-ass rally. And so I've only had, I mean, really, in the past 2 weeks, I've only made 4 trades in the past 2 weeks, and it's because my bearish bias does not allow me to take setups that aren't there, and I've been presented with very few bearish setups, and so I've avoided losing a lot of money in here, but I've also avoided making a lot of money in this recent run right here. Do I think it's getting tired? Yeah, I do. But what I think doesn't matter. Do I think this bull rally in this bearish market is overdone? Yes, absolutely. But what I think does not matter, what my bias is, does not matter to the market. And so then I need to leave my, I leave my bias at the door. I trade the setups that are in front of me. And even when I have a bias and I'm trading in the direction of that bias, I still only look for my setups. It's more often that I find, when my bias is bearish, I more often find bearish setups in my bearish bias. When my bias is bullish, I more often find bullish setups, during the bullishness. And so being in the direction of the trend is often more profitable. It's difficult to be bearish because a vast majority of time, look at this, historically speaking, let's put this on a monthly, historically speaking, what's more prevalent, bullishness or bearishness? Well, if bearishness were more prevalent, then the chart wouldn't go from bottom left to top right. It would just go down. That's not going to work. And so here we are. Actually, this is interesting. a close above this level here on the SPY. That's 450.68 right there. Yeah, 450.68 on a monthly basis. A close above 450.68 on the SPY. That's going to be bearish, or I'm sorry, that's going to be bullish. That's a reversal candle. It's an open that's lower than the previous close, and a close that's higher than the previous open. That is engulfing. That is a bullish engulfing candle on the SPY. I imagine that the SPX, the S&P is the same way. So, right now, I'm probably, in fact, actually I am. I'm going to take, I'm still bearish, and I will only take my setups on bearish setups. Well, actually, that's not true. I'll take my setups on whatever setup presents itself. But I'm pulling my risk down, that's for sure. Definitely. I've maintained my level of risk pretty much throughout this period, right from here to here. From here to here, I've maintained my level of risk, and it's been okay. It's just that I haven't had anywhere near as many setups as if I had a bearish or a bullish bias. So that's life. That's the way it goes. It's okay. Like what's the name of it's survive to thrive, or I can't remember. But yeah, you got to stay alive. You got to keep your powder dry in this area. I believe that there will be more bullishness coming in front of us, but I could be wrong about that, and I might need to change my mind very quickly. All right, everybody. That is my pre-market strategy session. Good luck out there. Keep your wrists tight. Click like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, tap the bell, and I will see you at tomorrow morning's strategy session. I am out.